Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. This is the third-ish week of. Let me check. Yes. Oh my gosh. January is almost over. This is crazy. Y'all, I'm recording at night per usual because, number one, my house is getting painted. And you would think getting your house painted is not noisy, but I guess banging out the scratches or whatever is loud. And so I don't want to have that in the background. So we just have my heater, which is fine. It keeps making a noise like it's gonna turn off, but then once I'm ready for bed and after this video is done, it will turn off. It will. Because that's what it does. When I need it to be quiet, it's not quiet. Like when I like noise, because I have like a white noise machine and stuff, it's so uncomfortably quiet. Like if I forget to turn on my white noise machine, or if it cuts off after a while, if I don't put it on repeat, it's so cold. It's so quiet. But now, it is not. But it's okay. Because at least you don't have to hear banging. That's what I don't want you to hear. But anyway, I feel like I look very boring, but I just got off work at 10. It is 1 in the morning because I'm trying to avoid all the noises. And we're back on the couch, and the couch is going to be like occupied because once my room gets painted, I'm going to put some stuff on the couch, so I won't even have any room. I mean, I guess I could record by the desk, but I feel like we've been by the desk like a few weeks in a row, so breaking it up. But yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to be in the thumbnail of this video, so it's alright if I look like kind of plain. But anyway, hope everyone's doing well. January's almost over. It's crazy. I feel like we just started the year. And I want to give like a tiny goal update. I have taken some poems out of my poetry book and put some in, so at least I have that. So I've done a little bit, but that's not what today's video is about. But I just wanted to update y'all. Today I want to do another discography review, and I was feeling nostalgic, so I wanted to talk about B2K. B2K, if you don't know, they were a boy band. And B2K stands for Boys of the New Millennium. They were active from 1998 to 2004, and then again in 2018 2019. It was formed by Dave Scott, who is a choreographer, and Interscope A&R Keisha Gamble. And so the members are Little Fizz, J Boog, Raz B, and Omarion. They're a black boy band, which I want to say they were the only boy band I was ever like really obsessed with. Like, I wasn't into NSYNC or like, I mean, I liked the music of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, but I was not obsessed like I was with B2K. So the genre that they were was R&B, teen pop, and hip hop. And so they released a self-titled debut album on March 12, 2002. The album peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the U.S. top R&B / hip hop charts, album charts. But in 2003, after I guess after filming You Got Served, let me see. Yeah, they decided to split up because Raz B, Little Fizz, and J Boog, Omarion is the lead singer, if you didn't know. They said they just wanted to be treated fairly, so that's why they broke up. Unfortunately, now it has been a bunch of mess. So I'm gonna just kind of paraphrase this next part. So they did do the Millennium Tour a little bit in 2018, 2019, which I wish I had went to and not just waited on my friends to do everything. There are a lot of tours I wanted to go to that I was waiting on somebody to go with me. But next time, but now I'm telling myself I just gotta go if I want to go. So yes, they have had a feud. So Little Fizz went out with Omarion's baby mama. So that's one part of the drama. So that was going on. Also, Omarion said that issues with the bandmates, saying that he had matured and that it was a lack of communication and lack of knowledge. So I'm not getting he's the lead singer, but he be saying some stuff. He called them glorified backup dancers last year in June. Which, I mean, I get you the lead singer, but dang. And then he had his own documentary talking about the issues during the Millennium Tour, which Raz B did have some mental health issues, mental illness issues, and he had some domestic violence that he was involved in. I don't remember what happened with that, but of course, I don't like that. So, but of course, hopefully him and his girlfriend or whoever worked out whatever they had to work out, or if they needed to be separated, they were separated. And then September last year, basically, so also Omarion talks about the group's downfall, relationship with his children, his relationship with Little Fizz and his baby mama, and other stuff. But I don't think you can watch it for free, so I haven't watched it. But the rest of the group basically said they discussed their side of things, which my early 2000s dreams are ruined because I'm just like, everything's not good. But we're going to get into the discography now that I've given you a little background on them. So like I said, Omarion was the lead singer. Little Fizz was like, he's the rapper of the group. But I think J Book also rapped. So he was also the rapper of the group. Raz B, I think he just sang. Which sometimes, when I looked up the background of like some of these songs, it's like, of course, Omarion's lead, but sometimes it would be Raz B or J Boog and somebody else or Little Fizz. So, they had some switching up. But they had their debut album, B2K, which I just said was released March 12th, 2002. And the vibes I got were pure R&B, harmonious, classic. So I'm going to talk about my favorite songs. So this first favorite song is going to be controversial because the lyrics are absolutely insane. Like, LOL. But the harmonies and the beat are so smooth. So my first favorite song is Gots to Be, which some of the lyrics are Gots to Be, the one that makes it right. What else did they say? Gotta be your everything, which no one should be your everything in a relationship, number one. So that's just crazy. Gots to be the one that you serve, I think, something like that. So the lyrics are crazy, I'm gonna admit that. But it's really smooth and you almost kind of go along with the absurdity. Like, will I be down enough to fall for this unhealthy relationship? LOL. Like, the lyrics are just out there, but it's also like it's sung so cool, like it's sung so nicely that you're like, it's like good, but it's also like the lyrics are just crazy. But I will put that as first, like, before I listened to it again, I was like, I'm not gonna like this song. I'm gonna hate it. But I don't. But at least Omarion says that he won't be abusive in the song, so that's one of the less possessive of the lyrics, at least, because everything else is pretty much, you gotta be doing everything for him, you gotta serve him, you gotta do all these things. So it was a lot going on. And then the second song I liked, my favorite song was which is very 2000. Could you imagine trying to tell a DJ you want to hear they're gonna be like, you can't hear anything. You're gonna be like, what you trying to hear? And you'd be like, and you'd be like, what? You want Who's I just feel like that's kind of crazy that they named the song that. But anyway, but it's still fun to listen to. The beat is so mesmerizing, makes you want to dance. And I guess Little Fizz with this rapping is hip for the time. I feel like, is that an old people thing to say that you're hip? I feel like it is. I am in my 30s, so I guess I'm going down the cool factor's going down for me. But he's a typical rapper of the group, but it was still interesting, and I find it funny when Little Fizz mentions him being like 15 in the song, and I was like, dang, they were young. So that makes me wonder, like, what year were they born? Because I felt like they were older than me. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember. I think that they were definitely older than me. But I'm trying to remember how much older. Okay, so I can click on... I know I can click on Omarion. Let me see what year he was born. 84. Okay. So he is 7 years older than me. So I'm guessing, so that's funny. So I was like younger than they were. Yeah. Little Fizz 85. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Because you think, like, as a kid, like, you're growing up seeing these people. And, you're like, oh, we're the same age. Which, I mean, I guess we kind of were. But, I was probably, like, in middle school, and they were, like, in high school, and of course touring the world and having an album. So there was that. And then also they were so young, singing about sex and any old kind of thing. LOL. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's been happening for all teeny boppers, throughout history. And then my third favorite song is B2K's Hot. It is my favorite B2K song of all time. And I want to say, after reviewing all of their discography, it is still my favorite song of theirs. And I always love the song because it, like, encapsulates their popularity, because they were, like, hot. Ladies loved them, including me, LOL. And also, I could just imagine people, like, yelling in the chorus and crying in crowds. And also imagine them being chased if they made a video. And I also think the beat is so great and, like, nostalgic at the same time. So that was my favorite of the whole album. And then Fantasy, and is the next one. And I like that they have, like, black girls be the ones to be desired in the song, even though they do use the I want a chocolate girl kind of thing, which I'm like, always describing black women as food. But anyway, besides that, I mean, at least we got some representation. I like that. And the beat and lyrics, I really just love that it all just works well together. I like how it's mostly age appropriate, since they were teenagers. Granted, I was, like, younger than they were, but was saying they know her from school. They did mention the club, but it could have been a teen club. I don't know if teen clubs are, like, still a thing. And I think it's a very fun and energetic song. And then my last favorite song from the album is I'm Not Finished. I feel like this song is so incredibly smooth. And I also love a man begging for a woman song. LOL. I want you in the rain. That's what I wanted. That's what I imagine. Them in the rain singing, like, how people used to do in the early 2000s and 90s. And they're like, I need you back. That's what I imagine. And I feel like that's it's like an R&B classic to me. And it's just so great to me. And I like that it feels pretty perfect to me, honestly, this song. I really liked it. I want to say somebody else is singing with them on the song. Let me check. I think it's IMX. But I'm going to be honest with you, though. I don't remember 100% if it was IMX with them. I know IMX was on some other song. Let me see if I can find it. No. I thought I saw it on Genius that it was IMX with them. Now I'm looking for it. Genius. Let me see. I'm just gonna look up the song. Here we go. I definitely feel like on Genius it said that somebody else was on there with them. No, it doesn't tell me. Let me click it. Because sometimes when you do it like before you actually go on the album, it will tell you. Will it tell me? Of course it's not going to tell me. But, let me see. I want to say it said that somebody else was on it. I'm going to be 100%. Oh, it is not. Okay, so IMX must have been a different song. But I felt like it was a pretty perfect like R&B song. And I'll be honest with you. From the beat and the singing, I loved it. Like if somebody sang this to me, I'd come back, So I'm going to give my overall opinion on it. It might be the nostalgia, but I honestly loved re-listening to this album. Honestly, this was the only album I had of theirs that I owned, so that could be why I love it so much. But I remember loving it once it came out, too, and to me, this album was almost perfect. I feel like a few songs could have been cut, and the album could have been shorter. Both of their albums are 17 songs, and I'm like, definitely now, nobody has an attention span for that. But I still feel like back then that was like kind of excessive. And there were some hidden gems that I had forgotten about, like the classic R&B jam, I'm Not Finished, and then the petty anthem, Your Girl Chose Me, which I had that stuck in my head all day today at work, so that's great. I really like that song. And I had a great time listening to this album again. I highly recommend it, and it reminds me of my friends and I claiming our favorite members of the group and fighting if we picked the same guy, LOL. My friend was the J Bug girl, I was the Lil Fizz girl. And if I was like, oh, you know what, actually I like Lil Fizz, she would get mad. I mean, not Lil Fizz. If I say I like J Bug, she would get mad. So, that just brought me back to that 8th grade. I think, 8th grade. Yeah. It brought me back to that. So that was fun to, like, remember. And where was I? Yeah, and I already mentioned this. They were the only boy band I was ever obsessed with. So I give that my 9 out of 10 because I feel like it was even better than I remembered. So that's good. Okay, so they have 3 albums. I don't know if I mentioned that. So the second album is a Christmas album, and it's called Santa Hook Me Up. It was released October 29th, 2002. Wait a minute. Did they release everything in 2002? Oh, I guess so. Dang, they was moving fast. So the vibes I got were like a modern Christmas, rushed. It was rushed and jumbled. That was my vibes. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about my favorite songs. So Rain and Snow. It was a cute little Christmas bop. You know what I mean? They had very black activities. I think they talked about like collard greens and maybe spades and like different stuff like that. So that was cool. And the chorus is kind of catchy. But now, of course, I can't remember it. But I think it was like kind of like Let It Snow. But it's also talking about rain. I don't remember if they mentioned them being in California. But I feel like that was something that was mentioned. And it could be an earworm if you played it enough, And then Sexy Boy Christmas featuring TG4, which 7th Street was in that group. 7th Street, I feel like she was in like a bunch of different groups. But yeah, they're a girl group that also sang with it. It doesn't sound very Christmassy though, but it was very like 2000s bop. So I liked it. The beat kind of reminds me of like Halloween. But I actually liked it. LOL. It's like weird but good and works somehow. And it was like a weird fun song. And I like how all the guys rapped, but Amorion could have sat this one out, LOL. Yeah, he could have just sang, because his rapping on that song was, like, not good for me. And then they did a cover of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and that was, like, kind of the only Christmas. I mean, they did, like, play, the Jingle Bells in the back, but that was, like, about it for some of these songs. But it still has the 2000s beat to, like, balance it out. And, it's so... It sounds so 2000s that I don't think you could like keep jamming to it now. Even though I was jamming listening to it, LOL. I feel like other people may be hesitant to jam to it because it sounds so like 2000s-y. But I thought it was a fun cover. And then Why'd You Leave Me on Christmas? I'm guessing this was an original song. It had potential to be a classic original song, but it probably wasn't as promoted as it could have been. And it does not sound period specific, so it doesn't sound too 2000s-y, so I feel like that could have worked for them. It was very smooth and had great storytelling. Basically, it's just like the girl left him on Christmas, Here's my opinion. This is the least Christmassy sounding Christmas album I've ever heard. sounds. They just added bells to make it, like I said, but that was it. They just added the bells like, in the background and gave nothing else. That was it. Where was that? And like I said, some sounded 2000s-y. And I don't think you could like keep playing their songs over without it being like sounding like, dated. You know what I mean? And it sounds like they kind of rushed through this album since the third album was coming out right after this one, like right after, like in 2 months. I'm gonna talk about it. So yeah, and that's why it's probably sounded rushed and jumbled to me. What else? The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Baby. So Santa Baby was covered by Jhené Aiko. Those were the worst covers I ever heard in my life, and I'm not exaggerating. It wasn't good. It was not good at all. Like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was just jumbled. It was like too much going on. And no offense to Jhené Aiko. Oh, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with the beat and all the voices, like I said, jumbled. And no offense to Jhené, but I don't know if her voice was higher back then or something, like, or they were trying to make her sound sexy, but she just sounds nasally, and it was not good. It was horrible. If I had to put on a Christmas album, I would not put this one on. This year or any year in the future. LOL. So I gave it a 1 out of 10. It seems like they made a quick attempt at a Christmas album, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good for me. And their final album was called Pandemonium, and it was released December 10th, 2002, which I'm like, they pumped days out, didn't they? So the vibes I got were like confident, like they're confident in their sound level, which everything was just kind of at the same level, like just kind of, and it was limited to me. So my favorite songs were One Kiss. It reminds me of You Remind Me. It reminds me of You Remind Me by Usher, like the kind of the flow and like the layout of the song, like the beat, but I still liked it. And it has an intriguing message of like not giving your all to the wrong person, like all your trust in the, well, basically, yeah, all your trust to the wrong person. But it sounds very smooth and has a very classic R&B sound, so I like that one. Sleepin', so it's another begging song. I love a begging song. And so yeah, the ex done moved on, and I'm like, why can't you just move on? Hello, you trying to meet up and stuff? You know how guys are. They be trying to. You left your bobby pin. Let's meet up. Like, please. But I still think it was very smooth and melodic. Like I said, I hope she did not meet up with him because he kept begging about it. And yeah, that's how the men be trying to get you. But I think it's relatable, you know, how men try to come back. So, yeah. And then the third and final favorite song from the album was Boys for Life. Sing how they will always be there for each other. And it was sad, like, seeing how things turned out now. Listen to the album. It talks about them struggling and how they made it. And they'll always be friends for life. And it was very sentimental. I really liked that song. It sounds like they knew it was ending and wanted to thank everybody, because they did thank like their manager and Chris Stokes and all these different people at the end of the song. Even though I think they did announce their disbandment before the album even came out. So yeah. But my overall opinion was, I feel like I didn't have as much variety as on their first album. And Jay Boog talks about them having an image now, but this album, a lot of the beats and subject matter seem to repeat. And it seemed like they leaned into the Usher-esque sound, but never varied it. So like the You Remind Me kind of beat and like how the songs go. That's basically how it sounded. So I wish it could have been more dynamic, but it seems like they played it safe. And also, like, they kind of pseudo-curse. They would say like, get that over here with me, man. But they wouldn't go all the way. And I feel like, I wonder if they really would have went in. It would have been like more engaging. But I guess, you know, they were like teenagers, and it was like, you know, a boy band, so, you know, they can't really go in like they could probably now. But I would give this album a 5 out of 10. I did not own this album, so I might be biased about that. LOL. I will say not too many songs stood out from like one another, And I do love Boys for Life though, and I wish they could get back to that mindset. So I have a wish list, my top 10 things. So that's how I feel about the albums. B2K, the debut album, is my favorite, and then Pandemonium, and then Santa Hooked Me Up at the bottom. You don't need to listen to the Christmas album. Just listen to B2K, and that's it. Honestly. But my wish list for B2K, so I don't wish to like have them. I guess I do wish to have them, but these are things I wish for the future of B2K. That's what I should say. So here's my top 10 things I want for the future of the group. I want them to fix all their problems, get Iyanla Vanzant in here, because I need them to be cool and clear their issues up. That's what I want. That would be my dream. Also, number 2, create a new album, like the debut album. It would be superior, like the Chicken Salad Girl, superior. I would love that. I want Little Fizz to cut his hair, even though I think his hair is short now, like the debut album cover, and wear those same glasses again. I would love to see it. LOL. I really love that picture of him on the cover. So that's a personal thing. Anyway, and I want number 4. I want Omarion to get off his high horse. I guess he was the lead singer, but what happened to Boys for Life? What happened to that? What happened to, them being together? Now they're just your backup dancers. What? It's just crazy. But also, Little Fizz did sleep with his baby mama. So, it's a lot of complications also. So, I will give him that. And number 5, I want to go on the Millennium Tour with all of them. So do it again. Tour again with all the guys. I missed them because I was waiting on my wishy-washy friends, and I would like a do-over. So, okay, number 6. I would like merch of the debut album cover, but some of them just cropped of Little Fizz on them. I am very serious about loving this picture, y'all. LOL. And other cool looking vintage merch would be great. I saw some merch when I went to their B2K official page, but it was kind of mostly for Omarion. But they did have some stuff for them. But I don't know if it was like what I would want. But And number 7, at least if you don't do a full album, give us a single and a music video. You know what I mean? At the bare minimum. Give us something. You guys can be in different rooms. Like Destiny's Child and Say My Name. They could do that. So then they don't have to be around each other. You know what I mean? Number 8, have everyone be in a documentary together and be honest about their problems and not just be pinned against one another. That would be nice to have everyone be open. Like Iyanla. She could put them all in the room. Have everyone be open about the problems. And you could solve them right there. Okay, number 9. I want a B2K official coffee table photography book. I feel like that'd be cool to see all their fashions, like when they were in the group. That's like a super random thing that I want, but I want it. And then number 10, I want a Boys for Life music video to remind them of where they came from and how they used to support each other. Which, of course, like I said, is a lot of complications since then. With Little Fizz and Omarion, and with Raz B having his issues, mental health issues, and legal issues. So it's a lot going on with them. But it'd be nice to see them all fix their issues, and hopefully Raz B, fixes what happened with him and his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever happened. Of course, I don't want like an abuser to be platformed basically, but I do want them all to be together again and to do the Millennium Tour over, because I would like to go this time. But so I just want to go down this nostalgic road with y'all and talk about my love for B2K and what I want for them, and I want them to come back and to be good with each other. But I don't know if that's ever really going to happen, because a lot has happened that's not good. So yeah, if you guys like the boy band, let me know which one you liked in the comments. If you like B2K, let me know who was your favorite. Who was the one you had a crush on? I told you who I had a crush on. I did like J-Bug too, but of course my friend was like, that's my man, so I had to back off of that. But yeah, let me know. And I will see you all next week.